How were you able to pull everything together and surmise it into the big six from everything that we did? Because it wasn't just, we were sitting down talking and then it morphed into the big six. So how were you able to pull that in and I guess bring it to fruition to what people are seeing today?
Well, one of the things was you guys helped me with that.
Okay.
I tell folks that when they come now, they're not a guinea pig. They're not, we're not testing this.
Right.
It's
We were the test monkeys.
We were the test monkey,
Right.
life, and they're being tested now, but it's not documented. So when we would sit down, this came to actually birthed out of the church. Because the title they probably use now, and I'm accepting the title. I'm the business pastor.
Okay.
I'm the business pastor. I'm the business pastor. People come to me for mostly gonna be business stuff, order stuff, stuff like that, and I had to accept that. That's why God gave me that, and that's what gonna be attracted to me. Because when I was sitting in Church West, I was so confused. I was, man. I was confused because, in holiness and churches that Church of God in Christ and different things there, right? They tell you ain't supposed to love a job.
Mm-hmm.
And I love what I was doing. I'm telling you something, I love serving people. I just loved it. I love doing it. I love people. So I felt bad, and even when you're trying to struggle, we're struggling, about money and all those things. And I'm like, well, if you say money is bad, but we're gonna take an offering up here in about 30 minutes. And they didn't stop taking the offering, Wesley. It wasn't no just walk around and you done.
Yeah.
They counted that money as a hit, and if you shout, they gonna get it.
They come see you. Yeah.
They gonna get it, and they ain't gonna move on. So it was confused. So it was just contradictory, right? That we would talk about health and we would talk about being whole and ministries and going out evangelizing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we having church at 11 o'clock, eating to one in the morning, and diabetes and eating. I'm like, man, how we gonna go out there and deploy when you're not deployable?
Right.
So it was a conflict, and it seemed like it was contradicting the whole mission. Mm-hmm. So the balance of the big six is I began to ask questions, and I would ask questions. Then the big six was God was the center. Big six, God is the center.
Right.
But in church, we had our mantra was God, family, community, church community, and it went down. Mm-hmm. And I was sitting there and I said, well, God gives me that, then I got to choose that. Then I said, I don't believe God would do that in the book. I said, I don't believe God would give me a wife and then make me choose. You know what I mean? Now, and I'm talking about not choose between her and the stuff below.
Right.
I think there's a balance. I think that he's in the center. Man, when I said that's when the big six started. When I said God is the center, I had to stop trying to put him here and leave him there. Mm-hmm. He's the center. So wherever I go, I took him with me. So I didn't wear 2 hats, 3 hats. I didn't have a McDonald's hat. I didn't have a Magnolia Realty hat. I didn't have a church hat. It's one guy, one goal, one God. Mm-hmm. So it made it so easy for me. But it started there. So when we would meet, like remember the sages would meet, and they would not debate, but they would put stuff in writing. We never wrote stuff down.
Right.
So one of my friends yesterday broke it down. So, man, I got to use it today because it really. He said, I may have a pencil, but where? And I'm holding it. Mm-hmm. That's what we had. He said, but I can't write or read. He said, but if you could write, I'll give you the pen.
Okay.
And then if that person can read, and then we write it down, we've accomplished our mission. So when we met at that table, I had a piece, you had a piece, Darryl had a piece, and then we first began to look at the personality, how God wired us. So we know you're detail. Mm-hmm. You look at things in detail. So when I start talking about working out, I think of going in there, sweating, doing this. You cook. I'm talking about amazing cook. I'm talking about, a cook when they can take nothing. He said, man, I don't do all that, man. He said, man, I do the macaroni. You ain't got to have all that. I said, go ahead, man. He made some macaroni, man. I about ate my arm off. and he can cook. So what I'm saying is that the detail piece, when we sit around that table, the big six start to morph. And we divide it in six. The six is the number of man. And we looked at all those areas of the big six. We look at the, how can we cover and put it like around and have God in the center? And he's always the one that helps us with that anchor. He's an anchor, and we anchor to him. It's like the branch. It's anchored to the
to the trunk.
To the trunk. So that's how the big six started.